Have you ever stopped to think about the humble egg, that breakfast staple, the easy dinner, the quick snack for decades? It's been a cornerstone of our diets, a symbol of healthy, affordable protein. We crack it, scramble it, fry it, boil it, often without a second thought. But what if I told you that some of the most common, seemingly innocent habits we have around eggs could actually be undermining your health, silently turning this nutritional powerhouse into something that, over time, can contribute to issues like stubborn gut problems, persistent fatigue, or even a cloudy mind? It's a painful reality that many of us, especially as we get a little older, find ourselves facing health challenges we never anticipated. We try to eat well, we stay active, yet sometimes the very foods we rely on, prepared in familiar ways, might be part of the problem. You see, the poisonous part isn't the egg itself, not usually anyway. It's in the everyday routines, the little shortcuts, the ingrained methods of preparation and storage that we've carried through life without question. These seemingly small things can accumulate, creating a silent burden on our bodies. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 6 common egg habits that could be harming your health without you even knowing it. We'll look at how simple changes in how you choose, handle, cook, and even what you eat alongside your eggs can make a world of difference to your digestion, your energy levels, and to your overall vitality. So, get ready to discover some eye-opening truths that will empower you to enjoy your eggs in a much healthier way. And make sure you watch to the very end, because I'll share a crucial insight about egg consumption that most people, especially those of us over 60, often completely overlook. So, let's dive right in and uncover the first common egg habit that might be quietly undermining your well-being, especially as we age. This one often starts even before the egg touches your pan, and it's something many of us overlook because it seems so trivial. It's what I call the cracked shell sneak and improper storage habits. Think about it. You're at the grocery store, perhaps a bit rushed. You grab a carton of eggs, maybe even give it a quick peek. But do you really inspect each and every egg for the tiniest hairline crack? Most of us don't. We might see a visibly broken one and swap it. But those faint cracks, almost invisible to the naked eye, are like tiny open doors for bacteria. The shell, you see, is a marvel of nature, designed to protect the delicate contents inside. But once that barrier is compromised, even slightly, harmful bacteria like salmonella can find their way in. And for us, as we get older, our immune systems might not be as robust as they once were, making us more susceptible to foodborne illnesses. The danger doesn't stop at the store. What about when you get home? Where do you keep your eggs? Many kitchens have those charming little egg holders on the fridge door. It seems convenient, right? But the fridge door is actually the warmest spot in your refrigerator. And it's subject to constant temperature fluctuations every time you open and close it. Eggs, especially those with any kind of microcrack, thrive in consistent, cool temperatures, ideally at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Placing them in the main body of the fridge, in their original carton, is the best practice. The carton isn't just for neatness. It protects them from absorbing odors from other foods. And, crucially, it shields them from temperature swings and further physical damage. Imagine you've brought home a dozen eggs. One has a tiny crack you didn't notice. You put it in the fridge door. Every time the door opens and closes, the temperature fluctuates, creating condensation. And those bacteria, if they've entered, can multiply. Then, a few days later, you scramble that egg without a thorough cook, or perhaps use it in a dressing that isn't heated. This seemingly small oversight can lead to an upset stomach. Or worse, a bout of food poisoning that can really knock you off your feet when you're not as spry as you used to be. So, the simple, actionable step here is twofold. Always check every egg thoroughly for cracks before buying, and store them properly in the coldest part of your fridge, in their carton. It's a small change, but it's a foundational step in ensuring your eggs stay safe and healthy. Now, let's talk about what happens once those perfect, uncracked eggs make it into your pan. This brings us to the second common habit that can turn your nutritious egg into something potentially harmful. The overcooked yolk trap. We've all been there. Right, you're making scrambled eggs, or maybe a fried egg, and you just keep cooking it until it's absolutely firm, perhaps even a little browned and crispy on the edges, or boiling them for too long until that beautiful yellow yolk turns a greenish gray. It seems like the safest, cleanest way to eat them. But here's the rub: while cooking eggs is essential for safety, overcooking them, especially the yolk, can actually create harmful compounds. Eggs contain cholesterol, and while dietary cholesterol itself isn't the villain it once was thought to be, oxidized cholesterol is a different story. When cholesterol is subjected to very high heat for extended periods, particularly in the presence of air, it can oxidize. These oxidized cholesterol products are far more problematic for our arteries and overall cardiovascular health than the cholesterol in its natural state. Think of it like a perfectly ripe apple, delicious and nutritious, but leave it out in the sun and heat for too long, and it turns brown, mushy, and unappetizing. It's still an apple, but its beneficial properties have been damaged. The same goes for your egg yolk. That greenish ring you sometimes see around a hard-boiled yolk, that's iron sulfide, formed when the iron in the yolk reacts with sulfur from the egg white, typically due to overcooking. While not inherently dangerous in small amounts, it's a visual cue that the egg has been exposed to too much heat, potentially leading to the oxidation we just talked about. So, how do you avoid this trap for fried eggs? Aim for a soft or runny yolk, or at least a yolk that's still creamy and bright yellow. If you prefer a firmer yolk, cook it just until it's set, without browning the edges excessively. For scrambled eggs, pull them off the heat when they're still slightly moist and glistening, before they become dry and crumbly. For hard-boiled eggs, bring the water to a boil. Then immediately turn off the heat. Cover the pot and let them sit for about 9-12 minutes, depending on your desired firmness. Then plunge them into an ice bath to stop the cooking process. These small adjustments ensure you're getting the maximum nutritional benefit from your eggs without creating those potentially harmful oxidized compounds. It's about gentle heat, mindful cooking, and respecting the delicate nature of this incredible food. So, now, let's talk about how even the healthiest egg can be turned into a less than ideal meal. Not by the egg itself, but by what it shares the plate with. This brings us to the third habit, the unhealthy partner pairing. You see, an egg, on its own, is a nutritional powerhouse. It's packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals. But what do many of us typically serve with our eggs? Think about the classic breakfast plate: crispy bacon, fatty sausages, white toast slathered with butter. Maybe a side of sugary pancakes or waffles. While these might taste delicious, they often introduce elements that can counteract the very benefits you're trying to get from your eggs. For example, frying your eggs in excessive amounts of unhealthy oils, like vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, can contribute to inflammation in the body. These oils, when heated to high temperatures, can create trans fats and other harmful compounds. And those processed meats like bacon and sausage, they're often loaded with sodium, saturated fats, and nitrates, which have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease and certain cancers over time. It's like putting premium fuel into a car with a leaky engine. You're still putting in good stuff, but other factors are undermining its effectiveness. Consider also the refined carbohydrates often paired with eggs, white toast, sugary pastries, pancakes with syrup. These cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by a crash, leaving you feeling sluggish and tired shortly after breakfast. For us, especially those managing blood sugar or weight, these pairings can be particularly detrimental. The beauty of an egg is its versatility, instead of those traditional unhealthy partners. Consider pairing your eggs with nutrient-dense, fiber-rich foods. Think about adding a generous portion of sautéed spinach, mushrooms, or bell peppers to your scramble. Avocado makes a fantastic, healthy fat addition to fried or poached eggs. Swap out white toast for a slice of whole grain bread, or even better, a handful of berries or a small baked sweet potato. These choices not only enhance the flavor and satisfaction of your meal, but also provide essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber that works synergistically with the eggs to support your digestion, stabilize your blood sugar, and keep you feeling full and energized for longer. It's about shifting your mindset from a convenient, often indulgent, breakfast to a truly wholesome and balanced start to your day. And by making these simple swaps, you're transforming your egg meal from a potential health hinderer into a genuine health booster. Now that we've explored how seemingly minor issues like cracked shells, overcooking, and unhealthy pairings can impact your egg's benefits, let's turn our attention to some other common habits that might be silently putting your health at risk. The next one is particularly important because it deals with a very common misconception, especially in the age of health trends, and it's something I call the raw risk myth. You might have seen videos or heard people talk about the benefits of consuming raw eggs, perhaps in smoothies, or as part of a bodybuilding routine, or even just a very runny yolk. And while it's true that some nutrients are more bioavailable in raw form, the potential risks, particularly for those of us over 60, far outweigh the marginal benefits. The primary concern, of course, is Salmonella. This nasty bacterium, if present in or on the egg, can cause severe food poisoning, leading to symptoms like fever, nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramps, and diarrhea. For younger, healthier individuals, it might be a few uncomfortable days, but for older adults who may have weakened immune systems or underlying health conditions, Salmonella infection can be much more serious, potentially leading to hospitalization, dehydration, and even life-threatening complications. You see, even though eggs are washed and inspected in many countries, and the risk of a contaminated egg is relatively low, it's never zero. And when it comes to something as vital as your health, especially when your body's defenses might not be quite as sharp, why take that chance? Some people assume that backyard eggs or organic eggs are inherently safer to eat raw, while eggs from healthy, well-kept chickens often have better nutrition. The risk of Salmonella is still present, as the bacteria can live naturally in a chicken's gut and contaminate the egg during formation or when laid. If you absolutely love the idea of a runny yolk, or want to include eggs in a recipe that doesn't involve thorough cooking, the safest option is to use pasteurized eggs. These eggs have been gently heated to a temperature that kills harmful bacteria without cooking the egg, making them safe for consumption in raw or lightly cooked dishes. They're readily available in most supermarkets. Otherwise, ensuring your eggs are cooked to a safe internal temperature is crucial. For whole eggs, cook until the whites are firm and the yolks are at least beginning to thicken. For dishes like quiches or casseroles, make sure they reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a simple preventative measure that can save you a lot of discomfort and worry. Protecting your precious well-being by simply making sure you're not falling prey to the raw risk myth. Your stomach and your whole body will thank you for taking that extra precaution. Moving on, let's talk about what happens to those delicious cooked eggs once they've cooled down. This brings us to our fifth common egg habit that can become problematic: the reheating routine blunder. Many of us love the convenience of cooking a batch of hard-boiled eggs for the week, or perhaps making extra scrambled eggs for breakfast the next day. It's smart, it saves time, and it helps reduce waste. However, the way we store and then reheat cooked eggs can sometimes introduce risks that we might not even be aware of. Cooked eggs, just like any protein-rich food, become a breeding ground for bacteria if not handled correctly after cooking. The danger zone for food is between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, where bacteria multiply rapidly. If you leave cooked eggs sitting out on the counter for too long, say, for more than 2 hours, they quickly enter this danger zone. And once bacteria have started to grow, reheating may kill some of them, but it won't destroy the toxins they might have produced, which can still make you very sick. Imagine you boil a dozen eggs on Sunday. You peel a few for breakfast and leave the rest on the counter while you clean up. A couple of hours pass before you finally pop them into the fridge. Or perhaps you scrambled a big batch and left them in the pan to cool completely before covering them. This seemingly innocent delay gives bacteria ample time to flourish. When it comes to reheating, it's equally important. While it's generally safe to reheat cooked eggs, especially if they've been stored properly in the fridge immediately after cooking, the key is to ensure they are reheated thoroughly to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. This is particularly true for dishes like quiches or frittatas. For hard-boiled eggs, it's best to eat them cold or at room temperature if they've been stored correctly. Reheating hard-boiled eggs in the microwave, for instance, can lead to uneven heating and potentially a messy, explosive situation due to steam buildup inside the yolk. The simple, actionable advice here is to cool cooked eggs quickly and store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator within 2 hours of cooking. And when reheating any egg dish, ensure it's heated all the way through until steaming hot. By being mindful of how you handle and store your cooked eggs, you can avoid unnecessary exposure to harmful bacteria and continue to enjoy your egg dishes safely and deliciously. Finally, let's address a point that's becoming increasingly relevant as more people seek out local produce and diverse food sources. This brings us to our sixth, and often overlooked, common egg habit that can pose a risk. The dirty dozen dilemma and source savvy. When you think about where your eggs come from, do you just grab the standard carton at the supermarket? Or are you venturing into farmers' markets, roadside stands, or perhaps even getting them from a friend with backyard chickens? While these alternative sources can sometimes offer fresher, more nutrient-rich eggs, they also come with a different set of considerations regarding cleanliness and safety. In many commercial operations, eggs go through a rigorous washing and sanitizing process, removing any external contaminants before packaging. They are then refrigerated to maintain freshness and safety. Eggs purchased directly from farms or individuals, however, may not have undergone this same washing process. You might encounter eggs with dirt, chicken droppings, or other debris on the shells. And while a bit of dirt might seem harmless, it can carry bacteria like salmonella on its surface, which can then be transferred to the inside of the egg when it's cracked, or to your hands, and then to other surfaces in your kitchen. Even if an egg looks perfectly clean from a backyard flock, it's still important to understand the handling. Many backyard egg producers prefer not to wash their eggs right away, as washing can remove the natural protective bloom on the shell, which helps keep bacteria out. If the bloom is intact, unwashed eggs are often stored at room temperature for a period, which is common in some parts of the world. However, if the bloom is compromised, or if you live in a region where commercial eggs are washed and refrigerated like North America, then the standard practices change. The key here is to be source savvy. If you're buying eggs from a non-commercial source, ask about their practices. How are the chickens kept? Are the nesting boxes clean? How are the eggs collected and stored if the eggs are unwashed? Gently wipe them clean with a dry cloth or a slightly damp cloth just before use, rather than washing and storing them, as washing can drive bacteria through the shell. And always wash your hands thoroughly after handling any eggs, especially if they have visible debris. For those who prefer the convenience and regulated safety of supermarket eggs, always check the sell-by date. And again, inspect for cracks. Understanding where your eggs come from and how they've been handled is a critical step in ensuring they remain a healthy part of your diet, rather than an unknown risk. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge to make the safest choices for your health journey. So, we've covered quite a bit, haven't we? We've pulled back the curtain on 6 common egg habits that, while seemingly innocent, can quietly chip away at your health over time. We started by looking at the cracked shell sneak, understanding why those tiny imperfections in an egg's shell, combined with improper storage in warmer spots of your fridge, can create an open invitation for harmful bacteria. We then moved on to the overcooked yolk trap, discovering how cooking eggs for too long or at excessively high temperatures can oxidize cholesterol and diminish the egg's full nutritional benefits, turning that vibrant yellow into something less wholesome. And we certainly can't forget the unhealthy partner pairing, where we saw how even a perfectly cooked egg can lose its health halo when it's served alongside inflammatory oils, processed meats, or sugary, refined carbohydrates that spike your blood sugar. Each of these habits, though seemingly small, builds upon each other, creating a larger impact on our digestion, energy levels, and long-term well-being. Then, we delved into more subtle but equally important considerations. We tackled the raw risk myth, learning why consuming raw or undercooked eggs, unless they are pasteurized, carries a significant risk of bacterial infection, especially for those of us whose immune systems might not be as resilient as they once were. We also shed light on the reheating routine blunder, emphasizing the critical importance of proper cooling and storage of cooked eggs to prevent bacterial growth, and how to safely reheat them without creating further issues. And finally, we discussed the dirty dozen dilemma and the importance of being source savvy, highlighting why understanding where your eggs come from and how they've been handled, whether from a commercial farm or a local backyard flock, is crucial for minimizing exposure to contaminants and ensuring food safety. It's a lot to take in, but remember, the goal here isn't to scare you away from eggs. Far from it. Eggs remain an incredibly nutritious and versatile food. The aim is to empower you with knowledge, to help you make more informed choices so you can enjoy your eggs in the safest, most beneficial way possible. The beautiful thing about all of these insights is that they empower you to take control. You don't need to drastically alter your diet or embark on complicated routines. These are simple, actionable adjustments to habits you probably already have. Imagine the difference it can make to your body when you're consistently choosing cleaner eggs, storing them correctly, cooking them gently, pairing them with nourishing vegetables and whole grains, avoiding unnecessary risks, and handling leftovers with care. Think about the subtle improvements you might notice, perhaps better digestion, more consistent energy throughout the day, a clearer mind, or simply the peace of mind knowing you're truly nourishing your body with every meal. It's about being mindful, being present, and making small shifts that accumulate into significant positive changes over time. Remember, every single day is an opportunity to make choices that support your health and happiness. You have the wisdom of years, and now you have these practical tips to apply. Don't feel overwhelmed by the list. Pick 1 or 2 habits to focus on first. Maybe starting with how you check eggs at the store, or how you cook your morning scramble. Consistency, even with small steps, is far more powerful than occasional grand gestures. Your body is incredibly resilient, but it also benefits immensely from the conscious choices you make day in and day out. Embracing these smarter egg habits isn't just about avoiding potential harm. It's about actively enhancing your vitality and ensuring that this simple, affordable food truly contributes to your well-being, helping you feel your best at every stage of life. I truly hope this video has given you some valuable insights and actionable steps that you can start implementing right away. Your experiences and thoughts are so important to this community. Have you noticed any health changes from how you prepare your eggs? Do you have any other tips or habits related to eggs that you found helpful or harmful? Please share your wisdom in comments below. I love reading them and learning from all of you. It helps us all grow and learn together. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That simple click helps more people find this important information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. We're building a wonderful community here, all focused on practical, actionable advice to help you live a vibrant and fulfilling life at any age. I'm constantly working on bringing you more content that addresses the unique needs and interests of our wonderful audience, helping you navigate the journey of aging with confidence and joy. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset, and by making informed choices, even about something as common as an egg, you're investing in a happier, healthier future. Keep nurturing yourself, keep learning, and keep thriving. Live your best life at every age.